it's Tilla, and in this video I want to talk about those castle foundations, those values of yours that hold you up from underneath, that support the life that you truly want to live. And I work so much with people who have forgotten or lost contact with the values that are really important to them. And they've got kind of sucked into the values that they were given or they grew up with. Some of those are the ones that kind of make me want to sit up straight in my chair and shoulders back and go legal, decent, honest, truthful, those kind of values. And truthful's a really interesting one because when I ask people about values, they usually put it in, and yet it's often not in people's top 6 or top 7. And they want to put it in there because there's a sense that if it's not in there, what will people think about you? It doesn't mean that truthfulness and honesty isn't one of your values. It's just not one of those that's right up the top, that's most important to you. Those 3 postcards you've just seen, they were selected by someone who was in a workshop that I was doing, and we were using postcards and images to find values. And I found her sitting in a corner with them in her hands, these 3. And I said, what is it about these 3 cards that's so important? What made you select them? And she said, I don't know. They called to me from the selection. And as I looked at them, what I saw was colour. And I said to her, they're about colour. And what happened was I witnessed her emotion and tears came. And the tears came because she realised just how disconnected she had become from this value of hers that was so rich when she was a child. She used to play in colour and she loved painting and colourful clothes, and she got disconnected from that. And so we spent the next 10 minutes talking about how was she going to reconnect and really bring that value to life within her own life. And that's what's important for me about you working on your values. So pictures and images have so many things to tell us about our values. I was walking up the stairs and I saw these and more like them on the wall, and I thought I'll use these to tell you about some of my values and show you how to really, really get into the sense of what they are and what they mean. So here we are, 3 photos at the top of the stairs. The top one is me and represents for me a value that I want to call jazz, that is a fairly new one for me, and I'll show you that in a sec. This one here was a fantastic, amazing sunset with wonderful cloud formations, and that one is a value called Big Sky. And the one at the bottom, this is Sally on board the ferry to the South Island in New Zealand, and this one is friendship. So I'm going to take each of those 3 and show you how you will expand those values to really get to that unique sense of your DNA and what they mean to you. So jazz has to be written for me with 2 exclamation marks at the end. My value that is around risk and edge and excitement and improvisation. So if we expand it, what does it mean? It means risk. It means joy. It means improvisation. It means excitement. It means being in the moment. with that sense of, it has a kind of, there's a noise and a sense of it that goes zzz. And that's that version of jazz. And I also have a slow version of jazz that doesn't have quite so much edge to it. That's me, that's my version of the value of jazz. All that matters is I know what it means to me. And I want you to do this with yours, is really write them out like this and go, what really does it mean? And what does that mean? And what does that mean? So let's take the next one, big sky. Big sky, for me, is about that sense of expanse that I get when I'm under a big sky. Whether I'm on the top of a hill or out on the water or in the marshlands, somewhere where the sky goes from horizon to horizon and I'm not hemmed in. So it's about not being hemmed in. It's about freedom. It's about expanse. It's about openness. It's about space. It's about time. Time to think and to be in that big sky place. I don't have to be out in nature under a big sky to get in touch with this value. When I can get in touch with it, when I'm in the middle of something really complex and difficult, and I can go, oh, how would big sky operate for me right now? It's kind of like, whoa, I can expand my chest and look up and come away from that detail into that big picture. And friendship. Friendship. A common value for many of us. It doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. And I'm realizing more and more that mine is about depth. I'm done with acquaintanceship in my life. And people who, whilst I like them, I'm not actually going to spend the time really getting to know them and them getting to know me. And so it's about authenticity. I want to be exactly who I am in a friendship and not be trying to be something else or hide away parts of myself that I don't feel comfortable for somebody to see. For me, it's about all there or really not bother. So my sense of friendship is a few friends where there is depth, where there is honesty, where there is openness. Friendship is about working at the friendship, noticing what's here, naming what's not going well, working to create something that is more than it is right now. So get your values out, get a piece of paper and start working out, write them out. What does this one mean for me? So that you truly get to that unique flavour of your values. Okay, you've found your values, you've expanded them, you know what they are, and then you can stand back and look at them all together. And what you will probably see is repetition. Words that mean something like the same thing. So here's the next thing to do, is to look at them and begin to group them together. What are the themes in these words that really stand out for you? And then as you group them together, see what's at the heart of each group. What really is the key to it. And what's the one word or little phrase that captures that? And then those are likely to be your core values, the things that you really cannot live your life without. You'd be finding a way to do them even if you're on a desert island on your own. And then here are mine on the sheet. Joy, connection, growth, beauty, peace, authenticity, and all the rest of them are around there. So that's a way that you can maybe draw them like that. So you've got your values, you've got your core values. Now what? How are you going to bring those more alive? Well, here are some ideas. You can score them. So grab a piece of paper, a pen, write your value and then score it out of 10. Not to be right or wrong or judge yourself or go, ugh, but just to be curious, right? So scoring it out of 10, maybe this one's a 4 and this next one is a 7 and this next one is an 8. All right. Just score them out of 10 for how fulfilled they are right now in your life. Another way you might do it would be to take a circle and divide it into as many sections as you have values on your sheet. And for each of them, colour the circle in with the colour that it feels right now. So if this one here was a kind of pale blue, and what you really want is a much deeper, more vibrant sense of it, just colour them. Notice what the differences are and then think, how do I change this value from this colour to this colour? What do I need to do in my life? If you've scored a value at 4, you may not want to take it immediately to a 10. That might be just too much. But what could you do to take it this week or today from a 4 to a 4.5 or a 5? So if we take friendship, one of my values, today I could up my score in some really simple ways. I could send a postcard to somebody that I've not been in contact with for a while, or pick the phone up. Or I could just turn up on somebody's doorstep locally and say, I'm here, have you got time for a cup of tea? They don't have to be big things, they can be small, but it's moving them forward to give them more resonance and more life. So there you go, values, the bedrock, the foundations of the magnificent castle that is you, of the person that you will become more and more of, the more that you really live in your values and use them to make decisions and choices about the life that you want. Sometimes those decisions and choices may be tough. Living a life that is based on your values is not necessarily an easy one. But when you get really in touch with your values, then you can stand up for the things that are important to you. You can say yes and no to the things that matter to you. You can choose to have fun, exploring your values, finding out more and more about what makes you sing, and go off and live your